This could all go horribly wrong at any minute. Hello, and welcome to the 135th edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled "Too Fucking Hot." Yeah, it is. And before we even get to the how hot it fucking is, I'm wearing the box wine and Tiny Banjo's tour T-shirt as a shout out to my good friend Kathleen Madigan, and go to her website, take a look at where the tour is going to be, and I say if you've not seen her, go out when she's hitting the road again, and catch her, because she's just spectacularly funny. And also, if you happen to be in Las Vegas this week or looking for something to do in Las Vegas, or you think, wow, I didn't know this was happening, I'm appearing in Bert Kreischer's Fully Loaded comedy festival in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena with some very fine comics. You can, if you go online, you can find out all about that. And also, if you happen to be in Dublin, September 1st, I will be performing at that's Dublin, Ireland. For those of you who might have been thinking he was here in the States. No, it's Dublin. There's only one Dublin to me. And I'll be appearing there at the Liberty Hall Theater is a part of my Liberty for One and All tour. And I'm really looking forward to those shows, and hope you can join me. And but you may not want to come to Vegas because it's, and I hate to talk you out of it, but it's too fucking hot. It's too fucking hot everywhere. It's fucking hot here. Look, last week, hottest day on earth ever, followed by the next day, hottest day on earth ever, followed by the next day, hottest day on earth ever. The fucking record, every day it was another record of how fucking hot it was. This is ludicrous, okay? Well, we really don't know. Well, now we do know, all right? And let's say we don't know. Let's say this is a guess. It's the only guess we've got, all right? We have to figure something the fuck out, because it is too fucking hot, all right? People can't exist like this. People are dropping like flies, and not just here, all over the earth, all over the planet. In New York, it was hot as fuck, but in comparison to places like in Texas or the gold standard of heat, Arizona, in Phoenix, Scottsdale, it's like 110, 112, 115. And those are temperatures that usually occur later on in the summer. This is insane. If it's 115 now, old joke of mine, but if it's 115 now in Phoenix, you can figure at the end of August, it's going to be about 280 degrees. All right? And, you'll look back on this Rantcast and you say, wow, he was not only a comedian, he was a prophet. Oh boy, it is. It's too fucking hot, and this shit's got to stop. Was lucky enough to get out to play some golf this week. By the end of it, I was just done, and it was. I was drinking. I was hydrating. I'm not drinking, but hydrating, and didn't help at all. You almost need an IV, and but it's unbelievable. It's extraordinary, and it's high time we began to deal with the fact that we've got a real problem out there. And if we try all sorts of things, if it doesn't work, at least we tried. But to stand by and go, we're going to just burn every fossil fuel in sight until it's gone, that's just not going to do it. We've got to start working this shit out, and with the rest of the world. And that's enough of fucking that. We'll be dealing again with heat this week, so there's no need to talk about this. Okay, this week, Jonathan Katz, a very, very funny man and a friend, came out with a new podcast, a new episode, and it features, I will read you, it's a great group, Lewis Black, Laura Silverman. Yeah, it's a great group, but I say my name first. Oh, Lewis. Andy Kindler, Sarah Silverman, Dana Gould, Eugene Meerman, and Susie Essman. And let me just say, this came out just before Threads came out from Mark Zuckerberg and the folks at Facebook, and it'll be tied up with Instagram, and it had 30 million people the first day, and Ellen DeGeneres was jumping up and down. A whole lot of people were very excited. I get it. I don't like Zuckerberg. I don't trust him as far as he can be thrown. I certainly don't trust Elon Musk. That's for sure. And so it came out on it's a few days later after Threads it came out. The responses that came in about this podcast, just a podcast. He put together a whole bunch of us who'd been had done his earlier podcasts and put it into, edited it all together. And the responses that were sent in were mean, vindictive, weird, strange. I don't know if one could say, I guess, anti-Semitic, if one wanted to push there. But it was things like unbelievable. That so it's this podcast looks like they'll charge you to watch ads. Veiled bit of those were moneymakers. I think. What else could it be? This one, this lineup looks like it's going to try to sell me a high interest loan, very tasteful, and convince my daughter to fuck black men. Where does this come from? And what is the necessity for it? And how did it show up just after the Threads thing came out? It was unleashed. And there's a bunch of others I could read. And the one that the final kick is in reference to Jonathan, whose picture's there. It said, "You look like a Neanderthal that just climbed out of a death camp." All right. Well, and no, this is all perfectly acceptable. This is wonderful. I get the idea of an interchange, kind of an argument of ideas that might take place on Twitter. This is twisted and sick, and I don't even want to go through the rest of them. And there's, it's just beyond belief. And one guy was, if I'm a Roman Catholic, I'm a Catholic. What if I changed my last name to Mann? Could I be in that lineup? No, because essentially you're not a comedian. All right, it's just twisted. And I have not yet listened to the episode, but it's there's no reason for this. None whatsoever. These are all very, very funny people whose work I truly admire and I'm thrilled to be a part of. I found it stunning. And I started looking the other night after, I was going to send out something about Jonathan's thing, and which I'm going to do now, and I'm sure more crap will come in. But then I started looking, and I just started noticing the shit that was flying through Twitter, and it's disgusting. It doesn't make me want to jump into Threads because he drives me nuts too, as I've said. So, and then you've got a hookup where your Instagram account, yada yada. I just have not really ever embraced social media, and that has always been part of my problem in terms of I've had people who help me, but it's been a problem for me to get get things out there to people, and I just feel like I have other things to do than to look through social media stuff, and but so be it. Meanwhile, in response to the fact that the Ukraine is in a sense mounting their counteroffensive and has run low on ammunition, and somehow we are sending. It turns out the Biden administration is will be sending cluster bombs, not to them. I don't know if they're going to get the consent of Congress for this. but there's a number of people I know in Congress who agree with us making sure that the Ukrainians are armed and that they can take back their land. And cluster bombs are very controversial, and there's all sorts of shit involved with that. Cluster bombs can create a cluster fuck. Uh, but having watched what the Russians have done, I don't. They say they say they're not going to bomb. The Ukrainians say they won't bomb civilian areas because these bombs create just kind of shoot shit like crazy out in all directions, and some of them get stuck in the ground 2% and don't go off. And the Ukraine will say they'll do what they'll do, but how come where it's this little incremental, and then all of a sudden this? I still don't quite understand how the guy, Prigozhin. I keep thinking Eric Bogosian, but Prigozhin. Went marching through Russia for a chunk, and so it's and that Russia can't really do the kind of they can't seem to get in to really conquer uh, the territory that they want from the Ukraine, in order to, for whatever reason, Putin thinks it's necessary, and to conquer that part. But one would think that Europe and the United States would have figured out a way to kind of get after the Russians by arming the shit out of them, the Ukrainians, arming the shit out of them, and getting them the air power that they need. Well, what do I know? I'm certainly no military strategist. I'm not a scientist, a strategist, or a lawyer. Week after week, I'm revealing more and more of my shortcomings to you, and we. We respond here in New York to the traumas that we are facing throughout this country and throughout the world. We responded here by the creation of the most CBD stores I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's like when I have the feeling it's very similar to when Starbucks exploded in Seattle. They're literally, if you go out my door, they just opened another one. There's two on a block, then there's another block, and there's one, and then there's another block down where there's another one, and then you walk a few blocks and there's go down to the other avenue. I'm in 9th, to go down to 10th Avenue, and there's another one that they just opened. They're all over the place. There can't be that much of a demand for CBD. I mean, there could be, but you never see anybody in these stores. And I don't know if they're setting up in order to be able to become new pot shops. I don't know if that's the reason that they've got them. But look, they can't keep restaurants open on 9th Avenue. I've got one fucking series of a block that used to have five storefronts out of 10 have shut down. 5. And meanwhile, across the street, literally diagonal is two of these CBD shops, and nobody's in them, and I don't see how they can support themselves, and they're not charging $3,000 for CBD vapors or joints or whatever. There's no explanation. There's none in the Times. Nothing seems to be discussed about it. They just seem to appear, and people seem to. I don't get it. I don't get it. And if this is the case, you think this city would calm down a whole fucking lot. God, it's great for the kids to see just how many of these shops there are. So I don't know. This is in Manhattan. I'm not sure about the other boroughs, but wow, extraordinary. Way too many. Way too many. And in the realm of mass shootings, 4 more, I believe, since we last chatted. 4. One taking place in my ancestral home, the great state of Maryland. Baltimore is where I know a number of folks, and what occurred there was horrible at a 4th of July picnic. And enough is fucking enough. Okay? This experiment that we're having, I'm sick of repeating this, but it's not working. Okay? You're going to arm everybody in sight. I mean, do we need a war to stop killing each other? Is it that simple? Well, we're not fighting others, so let's shoot each other. That's the way to go. Look, and it's a mental health problem. Well, if it is, then you do a background check. That's simple math, okay? Doesn't stop anybody from getting a gun. This is bullshit on a stick, and it's tiresome. And it's got to stop, okay? That's simple. That's not, oh boy, he's like a left winger. That's nothing left wing about it, okay? It's called common fucking sense. If you believe that there's a fucking correlation between the mental health of the people using guns and the gun, then you find out if those people should get a gun in their hand, and you do that with a background check. And it doesn't hurt anybody to wait 3 days. I fucking had to wait 3 days to get a new grill, a barbecue grill, okay? Well, boy, that was traumatizing because I wanted to get it on July 4th. Then it came, it's too fucking big. I won't even go into the story. And then they said they couldn't assemble. I couldn't assemble it. I couldn't assemble it with a team of assemblers. All right? They just kicked me off. Said, get out of here. So, you know, I'm not, look, if you're going to ask people to wait for appliances, you can ask them to wait to get a gun. All right? And as I've said time and again, it just might give them the time and the energy to kind of take a moment to think about, well, boy, why do I need a gun? Maybe I shouldn't go over and shoot Harry because he's a prick, you know? Maybe it'll get them to pause. Please, for God's sake, all right? Can we grow the fuck up? All right? Can people go out and vote for people who are going to at least, I'm not saying you take guns away. There's a goddamn way to do this. And we did it before, and it's not fucking difficult, and it helped. Tell me, no, this is better now. No, fuck you. Just look at the numbers. All right? Now, all right. And I've got a couple of things before I go. For those who are looking for some help for and maybe I should talk to this guy. There's Jacob Chansley, who was the self-styled QAnon shaman of the January 6th insurrection. You remember him? I think he had the big horns on his head. And he's just been released from prison, and he began offering hour-long coaching sessions in topics such as astrology, spirituality, and politics for $500. It's a steal. Really a steal. That's who you want to talk to in order to get your reality straight. A guy wearing big horns on his head and some fur. Mm-hmm. Not that but it's just really. But, guy's got to make a living, and there are people who are stupid enough to help him. Wow. And I'll leave you with this sadly, and I have to say that my good friend was just mugged yesterday, and it really shook me up. It shook me up. He was hurt. He can't eat solid foods for a month. It's pretty awful. Happened right in front of his restaurant, where they were celebrating 45 years of being in business. And that's what it's come to here. And he was attacked by two people who were sleeping right there on the stoop in front of the restaurant. And, it's awful. It was just awful. And it's really rough on my friend, and it shook all of us up. It's a sign that New York is not back yet. There's no discussion of why this is occurring, that the streets are kind of really flooded, and that's the only way to put it, I think. As in other cities, major cities, with homeless and those who have mental health issues. And somehow, before the pandemic, those with who were homeless and had mental health issues there was somewhere that they were at, and no one has discussed it or taken up or said how this occurred. There doesn't seem to be a history of it being written about. Journalists don't seem to be following it, and I don't believe that our new mayor has done really shit about it, even though he talks about it. And it's deeply sad. I'm just I've known nobody in this city who was ever mugged, even through the shit times when I was living here early on. And I hate to wrap it with that, but I wanted, I just needed to let you know if that, I think if you're thinking of coming to New York as much as I want you to, wait a little while. This is not the summer, and give it about, I think, a little time, because we can do better than this here, and we shall. And hopefully my friend mends soon, and hopefully folks go and visit the West Bank Cafe when they're in town to honor that 45 years of business. And that's what I've got from here. And that's the show. That is it for the 135th edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast. I think we've got some great new rants have come in, and I do hope you enjoy them and continue to send them in, because I will continue to get them out there, and we will be getting them out there all summer. And I hope to see you in Ireland. I hope to see you next week. If not in Ireland, I hope to see you in Las Vegas. And if not there, somewhere down the road. And if not me, Kathleen, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. That's what really counts right now. And stay out of the heat, because it sucks. Today's episode is sponsored by PayPal Honey, the easy way to save when shopping on your iPhone or computer. Have you been feeling the impact of inflation? Well, who hasn't? What's the craziest price hike you've noticed? Is it eggs? Gas? When prices are high, finding a deal and saving makes you feel good, or at least better. It certainly helps. And thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. That's right. I said free. And here's how it works. Imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite sites, and when it comes time to check out, the Honey button appears. And all you do is click apply coupons and wait a few seconds as Honey searches the internet for the coupons. And if it finds a working coupon, you watch the prices drop. And I have done this a number of times. When I'm looking for something, Honey button shows up and I click it and boom, it will tell me either that I'm getting the best price I can, there's another site that I can get a better price, or hold on to your hats. They will notify me when the price drops. Can't beat that, that's for sure. Also, Honey doesn't just work on desktop, it works on your iPhone too. You just need to activate it on Safari on your phone and save on the go. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this show. And whoa, that brings a smile to my face. Get PayPal Honey for free at joinhoney.com/Lewis. That's joinhoney.com/Lewis. From our good friend, Mildred Ellison. She's sharing a very wonderful news item and keeping us in the loop. I had not seen this. If an asteroid hits the Earth, humans may perish, but not Oreos. Oreo built an asteroid-proof doomsday vault in Norway to preserve its recipe and a stockpile of cookies. If anyone survives, they can make their way to coordinates 78 degrees, 08. She listed, I'm not going to list these. You find these if you really want to find the fucking the Oreo vault. But you can check the coordinates on your own. And they can make you can make your way. Can make their way to those coordinates and find cookies to soothe their doomsday grief. Hopefully, there'll be a handy cow nearby so you can enjoy some tasty milk with those cookies. And that comes to us from Mildred Ellison. She found it in the Business Insider. You can check that out if you're interested in those coordinates. Catherine Hayden's pissed. What the fuck has happened to fucking job site boards? Huh? I haven't worked since 2015 because of health issues. And then in 2018, I was ready to go back when my late husband asked me to stay at home. So I did. I lost him, despite him being vaccinated to COVID last January. I'm blessed that he was retired and I have money from his investments. However, I'm fucking 35 years old. I'm too damn young with no kids. I want to work. I want to make a career for myself. I'm on multiple job sites, but every time you click on a job to apply, it takes you to a different page with that job post and several others. And once you click on it again, it sends you to another page to sign up for a new job listing website. For fuck's sake, I just want a damn job. I don't want to subscribe to one more fucking site. Oh, I don't know who manages these damn sites. But fuck your ads and pop-ups. Your purpose is to help people find a motherfucking job. If I had the body for it, I'd consider being a legal damn sex worker at the Bunny Ranch rather than deal with this bullshit. No offense to sex workers, to each their own. I genuinely love working, and I hated when I left my company, but I was literally puking acid because of multiple health issues. I have a bachelor's in political science and minored in criminal justice. What in the Sam motherfucking hell does a widow have to do to get a job? Damn it. Be blessed, Lewis, and thanks for letting me get that off my chest. And you be blessed too, Catherine Hayden, for making my day a little brighter. I hope you found a job. I hope you're doing well. And sorry about the loss of your husband. Guy Powers gets something off his chest and by doing so explains a whole new insanity in the world of art known as NFTs. I've been a commercial and fine artist for my entire adult life. In my early days, back in the 60s and 70s, I sold all of my fine artwork, oils, acrylics, watercolors, and pastels, which were straight up art sales for art that someone wanted to buy in order to hang up on their wall to enjoy, or even if they saw it as a potential investment, which might make them a profit someday in the future by selling it for actual money, not some fucked up cryptocurrency, but goddamn money that you could spend any fucking place on earth. Not all artists become successful and are just hoping that someday they will be and then make some real fucking money. I post a good deal on Facebook art groups and also enjoy seeing what other artists are creating these days. That being said, I feel like they are easy prey for these sycophants who float the poor bastard's ego by telling them how much they love their art and ask to DM them if they would like to make a deal. I think DM should now stand for dumb motherfucker, because the so-called deal of the century they are offering is to the recently excited artist is for the artist to make an NFT out of their art and sell it to them that way for whatever fucked cryptocurrency these assholes are peddling that day. While this currency would be worth whatever the buyer says it is. It's not backed by gold, silver, or government, or not even a bunch of ripe fucking bananas. Typically, the buyer might say that they'd like to buy 3 pieces of art from the artist at about $7,000 each, totaling $21,000, making the sucker feel like they hit the jackpot and their career as an artist is about to take off. Now, one might ask, what the fuck is an NFT in the first place? For those who are lucky enough not to know, let me ruin your day and tell you. An NFT is a non-fungible token, which can be sold as a whole unit of currency and not separated into smaller denominations like the way you can get 4 quarters for $1 of real money. I've seen half of a rock drawing that a drunken 2-year-old could draw being offered as NFT art for $3 million. The drunken 2-year-old would not have been another Picasso, but a rather an aptly named Bernie Madoff drunken two-year-old. But at least Madoff was advertising what he intended to do just by having that last ever loving cocksucking name. So, if anyone is dumb enough to think that the stupid half of a rock drawing is worth any more than the cost of the paper it was drawn on, then they are too fucking dumb to see what lies ahead of them. What the fuck lies ahead, you say? In case someone who bought their NFT decides to sue the maker of the NFT for who knows what or how many counts of legal violations and fraud a lawyer with only half a brain could come up with, the artist and NFT creator will be able to figure it all out in their new orange clothing in their special cell on Rikers Island or Leavenworth Prison. All while the person who paid them the $21,000 in the first fucking place is free to roam about the world looking for the next stupid asshole to take the deal. I'm a fantastic artist, but suck at writing, which by now I am sure you have realized. No, you don't suck at writing. It's not an easy subject to explain, and I think you gave it a great shot. Thank you, Guy Powers. Thanks. It's unbelievable. So the NFT, the maker of the NFT, wouldn't be sued. It would be the artist who's sued. This is crazy. An epic rant from Jason Schwab. Lou, I have a rant that I've been meaning to get off my chest, and it should be said by everyone nowadays. What the fuck is up with these fast food chains getting rid of their best stuff? In this case, chicken tenders. Why? I simply don't understand it, and all attempts by these pricks to back up their statements has been met with contradictory arguments and pure bullshit. Chicken tenders are universally loved by everyone. Fuck the nasty-ass nuggets, which always taste like manufactured garbage, with the only exception being Wendy's. Chicken tenders are not only real meat compared to the nuggets, but they always do well. McDonald's dropped their buttermilk chicken tenders. Wendy's got rid of their chicken strips. BK got rid of the best tenders they've ever had from 2019. KFC dropped their potato wedges in favor of their inferior fries and dropped the popcorn chicken from the meal menu in favor of nuggets. Ugh. Rolling my eyes. But the moment it went too far is Chili's getting rid of their original chicken crispers. It's been months since they got rid of it, and they're still, I repeat, still getting customer backlash from it. Still, huh? Hey, jackasses, that should tell you something. When people keep asking you to bring it back, then bring it back, you fuckers. They claim they want to simplify their menu and that they are only focused on limited time items. No, it's menu assassination. And in the case of McDonald's, which literally has an empty chunk of their menu that could have plenty of room for the tenders to be brought back, that's menu starvation. And limited menu items, you need long-term items in order to keep your business stable and to keep your business running longer. Jesus fucking Christ. What the hell is the matter with you? You have customers that keep asking you to bring them back, but you keep giving us junk that we don't want and that no one fucking asked for. What company nowadays would keep making decisions that alienates customers and still expects to make money? Huh? What incentive would we, the customers, have in coming back if you keep getting rid of all your best stuff in favor of temporary garbage? You know who does their menus better? Popeyes. Not only do they have the best fries and chicken strips of any fast food chain ever, but they know how to satisfy their customers with proper fried foods. And they can still experiment with new stuff by putting it on a separate menu without sacrificing their main stuff that customers like. That's how you do it, you corporate morons. Culver's, Golden Chick, DQ, Sonic, Jack in the Box, even Arby's and A&W are objectively better than McDumbass, Wendy of Neverland, and Booger King because they keep their strips on their menu and they make smarter decisions. Hell, even Roy Rogers is far better. But I sadly have not been able to eat there since we left Maryland back in 2021. But I heard that they were planning to expand to Texas, and all I can say is do it. Your aesthetics fit with Texas, and I deeply miss their foods. If you ask me, Plano, Frisco, Allen, McKinney, and the Colony could benefit from them building some Roy Rogers fast foods, a closer Longhorn Steakhouse, expanding Famous Dave's, and also expanding Storms, which is a place I need to try. And as a Five Guys, don't follow the trend of what I tend to call the chicken tender prejudice and consider putting them on your menu. I want it. Your customers want it. Even your own employees want it. So you're in the minority of refusing to add it to the menu. And who knows? Maybe it could actually be great if you applied the proper chicken tenders, huh? Trust me, from a chicken tender connoisseur, not all chicken strips are created equal. The best are the ones that are fresh, soft, juicy, packed with white meat, and the best amount of breading. Hell, it would be the same if one of your favorite places got rid of the menu item you love from IHOP or Cracker Barrel and so on. If they got rid of an item you loved, you'd be pissed too. Before I close my rant, I recommend that the next time you come down to Texas to check out the following restaurants that even I've discovered down here that were fantastic. Scotty P's, which has the king of chicken tenders. 54th Street Restaurant and Draft House, the Brass House, Saltgrass Steakhouse. And in any location, the best restaurant that I love to death is Longhorn Steakhouse. The best location I've ever been to was in Fort Worth. I wish I could go there more often, but the nearest location to me is in Plano. If they moved it a little closer around the Plano, Frisco, the Colony areas, then it would be easier for me to visit them. Hopefully, you'll be able to read this rant because I'm getting sick and tired of fast food chains and even retail chains for that matter, not giving customers what they want and not understanding the value of giving your customers choices when other places are setting a far better example. I'm also tired of the chicken tenders being taken off due to bullshit reasons, which is why people keep asking them to be brought back, and they've started online petitions to attempt to convince them to reconsider their stance. I mean, personally, I think the whole chili situation is where the chicken tender prejudice and the simplify their menu BS has gone too far. And they're still getting some pretty negative backlash for it. They've awoken a beast, and their mistake came with a cost. To choose who keeps removing the chicken tenders, strips, fingers from your menu, cluck you. Hell, if they added the chicken strips back on their menu, it would make going to McDonald's, Wendy's, and BK more tolerable to go if they had something on their menu that isn't just nuggets and didn't suck. Thanks very much for reading, and I appreciate it, Jason. Jason Schwab, Plano, Texas. Wow, that is a very long rant, and certainly you displayed an extraordinary love for chicken tenders, and I expect you'll be hearing from folks about this. I do, Jason. That is one of the longest food rants we've gotten in a while. The only one that seemed to be in that ballpark was the one about the guy who opened it up and got chunky peanut butter, I believe, instead of smooth. Or it could have been he got smooth instead of chunky, but I think it was chunky over smooth, Jason. Thanks for taking a big chunk of your day out to get that to us, and I'm sorry for the little glitch mistakes along the way. It's a lot to read, Jason. A lot. I hope you felt good about it. I did. I mean, now, except for the glitches. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me. Aha, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcast.